Hello race fans, this is Anthony with BBSN, and we are back from a reinvigorating vacation in Hawaii and ready to resume the 2018 SCRAM racing season. And tonight we will be coming to you from Dixie Regional Raceway for the 2018 Doc Cola 400, and this will be a 40-turn race, which we'll try and fit this all into a single segment, which should be no problem. So without any further preliminaries, we will get right to the racing. And the two selected TV drivers for this race, Cam Croyle, who was the winner of the Southern 600, and Kurt Bryson. And Bryson, he was featured in an ESPN Race Week special or segment during which he was asked about who were the dirtiest drivers on the SCRAM circuit. And while he was generally diplomatic, he did somewhat call out the 88 car, the Alabama badass Billy Brett, by name. And because of that, Brett enters this race fuming and mad at Bryson, but also many around him, as he feels there might be a general consensus among drivers that he is a dirty driver. Also of note, we have a feud, an ongoing feud from the last race. Marty Moen and Austin Bigler enter this race feuding the 20 and 77 cars. So with that as our backstory, we will get the rest of our TV drivers. And we have 7 total, so we will pull 5 more. First one is Randy Kendrick. Kendrick was also insinuated to be amongst the less than gentlemanly drivers. Jeff Daly Jr., the second generation SCRAM driver. Graham Pleasant and Ralph Roach. And Roach, who has had problems qualifying the last several races, this will definitely be a boon for him. And our final TV driver, the number 3 car, taking over for his the prodigy Aaron Hartley. The owner of Exum Racing, Dick Exum himself, will be in this race, so he will get the final TV spot. And we will swap out their cards quickly here. So there is Exum, Pleasant, Ralph Roach, who is looking to use this as an opportunity to actually qualify for a race, which he has done, I believe, only once this season. I know it has not been more than twice. And hopefully turn it into a profitable outing, as Mooch Thomas did a couple of races back. And so our race week activities. We will start out with Kendrick, who will automatically become a gold trophy driver. And Kendrick so a 45, and Kendrick, he is going to do a TV interview. And 43, this track has generally been pretty good to us in the past. You got to take the good with the bad, placement C. So placement C, a trophy driver gains blue die position in the middle group. So that will be the second spot there. And again, he will become a gold trophy driver. So he will qualify in 10th place. Next up, Jeff Daly Jr. And Jr., a 42. And 42, minor altercation with the next drawn TV driver during qualifying, both drivers placement B. So placement B there, trophy driver gains blue die position in top group, non-trophy next position in bottom group. So Daly Jr. and Graham Pleasant, both trophy drivers. So they will gain the blue die position in the top group. So Daly, that is a 2. He will go third, and Graham Pleasant fourth behind him. And next up, Ralph Roach, and Roach gets a 34. Tire problems during qualifying, placement D, and Ralph Roach cannot buy a break. Non-trophy driver does not qualify. So, sometimes it's better not to be a TV driver. As Ralph Roach probably would have ended up DNQ anyway, and this just makes it a little bit more embarrassing as he was featured on the pre-race as a driver who blew a golden opportunity. And Dick Exum, the veteran, 33. And Exum, he's going to go TV event X. X for Exum, and 66. TV event Y, and 24, cameo appearance in episode of a popular TV show, and we have gotten the word that this will be Impractical Jokers, release coinciding with race week, and he will get placement C. So he gets the blue dye position in the middle group, which is the 5th spot there. So Exum qualifies in 16th, and we go up to Kurt Bryson, who has a little bit of heat going with the Alabama badass Billy Brett, 45, and that will also be a TV interview. And 53. Out there on the track, we kept at it pretty good. There were some things we could have done different, but there always is. And placement C, he will go to the middle group as well, and in the blue dye position. So he will go right behind Dick Exum there and qualify 17th. And we still do not have a pole driver, and last week's winner, Cam Croyle. 42, a minor altercation with next drawn TV driver. That's not going to be applicable here, so he goes to placement B, which is the blue dye position in the top group. And has an argument in the mirror with himself, apparently, and motivates himself to the 2nd place qualifying spot. So next, we will draw our fast qualifiers. And let me just quickly jot these down here. The 6-3 car and 8. 16th and 17th, Exum and Bryson. And Kendrick in the 10th position. All right, so fast qualifiers, we only have 3, so this is probably going to be a brutal week of qualifying for some drivers here. So our first fast qualifier is going to be Chuck Tufaro. And Tufaro, he is a silver, highest available position in top group, which is going to be the 5th spot. Next up will be Jordy Pettis, and JP. He is a gold trophy driver, so he's going to gain the pole position, and Pettis has had a bit of an inconsistent season thus far, so that is definitely a promising outcome for him. And our final fast qualifying driver is the veteran Marlon McGarry, and he will also gain a position in the top group. He will qualify 6th. And now on to the slow qualifiers, which will probably feature Mooch Thomas. And there are only 4 of them. So let's hope Mooch is not in the stack. We want to see Mooch get in the race again. Donnie Schrupp. And Schrupp, he got in the race last week, so he's just going to have to take his lumps, and he will not qualify this week. Next up, Corey Wallace, and Wallace will not qualify. Our third is Chris Wynn, And Chris Wynn, bronze, he will be next position in the bubble stack. So we will place him there. And finally, Kenny Hicks. So 3 non-trophy drivers were drawn in the slow qualifying group and do not qualify. So everyone else is normal, so we might have a Mooch Thomas sighting in this race, which will be nice. So again here, gold is highest position in top group, silver highest position in middle, bronze next position in bottom group, and non goes to the bubble stack. So let's see what we got here. And Jason Leonard, he will get the 8th position, the 82 car. Evan Hightech UTech is right behind him in 9. And Blake Schlegel, and Schlegel will go in the bubble stack. Brooks Bilovich, he gets the final spot up top, and that is the 7th spot. And Mooch Thomas, and the Mooch Man, he is going to probably make this field as he is 3rd in the bubble stack. So the Mooch Thomas, the Mooch Army, or Mooch Mania as his fans like to call it, will be in full force in this race. Dangerous Denny Baker, he qualifies 11th. And Greg Carl, and Carl, he will be in the 20th spot. Marty Moan, who is involved in a feud with Austin Bigler, will probably get into this race. And the Alabama Badass, who is on the fuming list, Billy Brett, he will qualify 21st. And Clark, Sandman Snook, and Snook, no room in the top, but he gets a decent qualifying position there at number 12. Craig Greco will be right behind him in the 13th spot. And Lucas Vanover, he'll be down in the 22nd spot in the 44 car. Paul Chen goes to the bubble stack and should be getting thin from this point on. Wayne Big Sky Montana, and Big Sky is in the 14th position in the 99 car. Disco Stu Urich, and Urich, he goes to number 15. So places in the middle group are filling up fast and furious. Sunny Swain, she will qualify 23rd. And she is kind of tailed off a little bit after a good start to the season. And Trevor Trostel will be 18th. And Nick Fenstemacher, Nick looking to get in only his 2nd race of the year, goes to the bubble stack. And finally, the Queen of Scram, Julie Justice, she will be in the 19th spot. And that fills out our top 2 groups. So everyone else, trophy drivers to the 3rd group, and or bottom group, and everyone else to the bubble stack. Alex Hodge to the bubble. Kerry K-Fab Cacchiola in the 24th spot. Chase Fetterman to the bubble. Tom Rossi qualifies 25th. Robbie Petrosky 26th. Kevin Pettis, he will qualify 27th. His brother, of course, up on the pole. Gary Pine 28th. Joey Plonka, and Plonka had a great first race of the season. He's kind of fallen by the wayside, become somewhat invisible since then. Lonnie Lane 30th. So that bubble stack is getting thin. Monica Merrick 31st. But does look good for Mooch Thomas again. The Mooch Maniacs in the stands will be very happy to see him in the race, no matter how long it is for. Vic Holder, 33rd. Ray Bob Walker, the SCRAM veteran, 34th. Parnell Drake, another SCRAM veteran, 35th. And Scott Steckel and the 55 team continues to have a string of unfortunate events. And Austin Bigler, the other part of the Moen-Bigler feud, is in 36, so he'll be back there with Marty. Mark Forth is not going to make this race. KJ Nakashima and the young hotshot, who drives well above his resources, gets 37th. And Sean Hashhagen is the 38th driver. So we will get 5 drivers from the bubble stack, and that means Mooch is going to be in, folks. So Chris Wynn, he checks in the 39th spot. Blake Schlegel, 40. And Mooch Mania, full effect in the 41st qualifying position. Marty Moen back there with his current protagonist in 42nd. And our final qualifying spot goes to the 16 car Paul Chen. And that means not qualifying, in addition to the other 4 who haven't. Nick Fenstermacher, Alex Hodge, Chase Fetterman, Scott Steckel, no surprise there, and Mark Forth. So as you can see, I have added the excellent race board by Al Wilson, which allows all of the bottom group to be out on the field as well. And 2 reasons for that. One, obviously, is it's extremely cool and a great compliment to the game. So thank you, Al, for that. And also, I'm going to implement a lap down rule. And lap down rule basically differs somewhat from the optional lap down rule that's on the that you can find on the play.com website. Basically, this same triggers if somebody has to roll or repair as a result of trouble or a problem. They will go to the back of the pack and be a lap down, and in that case, their car will just get flipped upside down to indicate that. And then to get back on the lead lap, the wave around rule, which is the same as the optional rule on the play.com free stuff under the SCRAM section, or the red, white, and blue racing for free stuff. Wave around rule, during a yellow flag, each driver who is a lap down will have a chance to roll against their pit crew. And if they get a passing roll on the pit crew grade, and this would be on the repair grade, they will basically regain that lap and come back up into the lead group. The other time would be during a challenge. If someone who is a lap down has the skill to challenge, they will conduct the challenge normally. And this is where my house rule will differ from what's on the play.com website. My house rule, instead of just rolling a normal challenge against the middle group, they will have to roll their challenges against the race leader. Reason being, in my way of thinking, is that to get back on the lead lap, they would have to pass the race leader, obviously, anyway. And in some cases, it's kind of up to the race leader if they want that to happen. So I figure there it's got to be tough and actually an accomplishment for them to do so. So that is the thinking behind that. So they would have to roll, generally get a 5 or 6 on the blue die, plus pass their gas pedal check, and if they do that, they will go back up on the lead lap. So that is how we will handle lap down. And no other formalities to dispense with. So gentlemen, start your dice, and we will get going here. The 2018 Dot Cola 400 is underway, and turn number 1. And we have the green flag. And right away we're going to go to the top group, and it's going to be immediately a trouble result. And just so I didn't cover that, on this track, Dixie Regional Raceway, it is a tight track, a short track, so the escape adjustment is -1, no change to repair roll, so keep that in mind. So we will now go through and roll trouble results for all drivers. Starting with our race leader, Jordy Pettis. So he has an escape of 9, adjusted to an 8. And he's good. Cam Croyle, 9. Good. Jeff Daly Jr. has to roll in 9. He's good. Graham Pleasant has to roll in 8. And Pleasant is collected. No way to start the race. And Chuck Tafaro, he is collected as well. He needed an 8 also. And Marlon McGarry. McGarry needs a 7, and he is collected. So we have some issues going on right away here. And Brooks Bilovich needs an 8, and he is collected. So 4 cars collected, and because we exceeded 3 in the top group, we go on to the middle group. And this could be a mosh pit of chaos right out of the gates here. So Justin Leonard, he needs an 8. He's good. Evan Utek needs a 6, and Utek is collected. Kendrick needs a 8. He's good. 7 for Denny Baker. He's good. The Sandman, Clark Snook, needs a 9. He's good. Greco is going to need an 8, and Greco is collected. We now have 6 cars collected, which means we'll be going, which means basically we're having the big one. We will go through the entire field here as there is a huge pileup. Montana needed a 6. He is collected. 7 cars thus far. Disco Stu, he's good. And dangerous, or crusty one, Dick Exum, he needs a 6. And he, just through all those years of skill and experience, avoids the carnage. Bryson needs an 8. He is good. Trevor Trostel, he needs a 7. And Trostel is collected. So we're getting some good drivers caught up in this mess. Julie Justice, she will need a 10, and she's good. And again, we have 8 cars, so we proceed to the last group as this is a epic wreck of catastrophic proportions. And Craig Carl needs a 7. Add him to the mix. The Alabama Badass Billy Brett, 6, and he's caught up in it. So we're going to get to see the, I picked quite the race to implement the lap down rule, didn't I? Vanover, 6, he's good. Sonny Swain, 8, she is good. K-Fab, Kerry Cacchiola, 7 is good. Rossi needs an 8, good. Petrosky needs a 6, he's good. Kevin Pettis also needs a 6, he's good. Gary Pine, a 9, good. Joey Plonka, an 8, good. Lonnie Lane, 7, good. Monica Merrick, a 5, and she is not good. And 11 cars and counting as we go to Pete McAtee. McAtee needed a 9, he's caught 2. Wow, 4 holders, good. Ray Bob needs an 8, he just gets that. Parnell Drake needs a 7, he gets it. Bigler, a 10, he's good. KJ Nakashima, a 9, good. Sean Hashhagen, a 5, good. Chris Wynn, a 7, good. Blake Schlegel, a 6, good. Mooch Thomas, an 8. Come on, Mooch, he's good. The Mooch man. He can still spin that wheel. Marty Moen, however, is not. He becomes car number 13. And finally, Paul Chen needs an 8, and Chen is good. So 13 cars in lap 1 collected. We're going to have 2 turns under the yellow. And that means on the second yellow turn, we will be able to do a wave around to let some of them regain their status. So we will see how that goes. But before we do that, let's move everybody else up. So Snook, Kendrick, and Baker join the top group. Dick Exum and Disco Stu moving up. Julie Pettis. And coming from the back group, Vanover, Swain, Kakiola, Rossi, Petrosky, KP, Pine, and Joey Plonka, the Invisible Man, and everybody else moving up here. Ray Bob and Nakashima, Chris Wynn, Schlegel. Look at Mooch Thomas vaulting up into 29th place, as his driving skills keep him out of the wreckage, and Chen is up to 30th. So let's now decide the fate of our cars. And again, no adjustment to the repair roll here. So first third of the race, and McGarry in A. And his pit crew is an 11 or better. And he's good and a lap down. Chuck Tafaro is a C. He needs a 9, gets it. Graham Pleasant is a C, also needs a 9. He is done. So we have our first casualty, the number 8 car, victim of a crash. Lap 1. Brooks Bilovich in A, so he needs an 11. He's good. I will probably pick up some red chips. I was going to use poker chips, but they drown out the cards. Evan Hightech UTech a B, and that is not going to get it done. He needed a 10, so UTech, he has gone crash turn 1. Craig Greco in A, so he needs an 11. He's good. Montana an 11. Ditto. Trostel an 11. He's okay. So we have a whole bunch of cars a lap down here. Greg Carl, he is a C, so he needs a 9. And Carl, he will be joining his buddies in the pits. The Alabama Badass, Billy Brett, he needs an 8. And Brett, he is going to be super fuming now. So Brett, he will be, due to his temperament, he will be on the fuming list for race number 9 as well. But for now, he gets a Coke and a smile and a seat in the pits. So Monica Merrick, she has a C, so she needs a 9. She's okay. Pete McAtee an 11. Good. And finally, Marty Moan, one of our feuding drivers with Bigler here. He's going to need a 7. And he gets it. So Marty, some fine work in his pit, and there we go. All right, so lap 2 and 3 go by the books, and now on lap 3, our second under yellow, we are going to a roll for a potential wave around. The longest first turn ever in SCRAM history is underway here. So 11, and McGarry will get back on the lead lap. He barely does. 9 for Tafaro. He's back on the lead lap. Bilovich. Bilovich cuts it close, but manages to get back on the lead lap. Greco an 11. He is back on the lead lap. Wayne Montana, barely. Trevor Trostel an 11. And Trostel, no. He will stay a lap down as his pit crew fails him. 9 or better here, and he will be joined by Monica Merrick. McAtee an 11. And they are cutting it close. And finally, Marty Moan. And Moan needs a 7 or better to get back on the lead lap, and he will stay a lap down. So there we have it. And turn 3 in the books. And we go on to turn 4 now in this rather boring race thus far, obviously tongue-in-cheek. And here we go. We have a duel, and that is going to be 7. And I guess I should have got the other charts out here. Hold on. So 7 will be a fume feuding result. So our feuding drivers, so we have all kinds of drama early in this race. Our feuding drivers, of course, are none other than Marty Moen and Austin Bigler. So we will roll again on the feud chart, and a 5. And Rabbit, Moen will be the Rabbit, and the Rabbit is out. And we get another turn under yellow. So Marty Moen is done for the day. A crash on lap 4. And their feud is going to carry over to the next race as well, since it resulted in Moen being ejected. So they will be feuding in race 9. So we have some early drama in this season here, and under the yellow flag, both Trostel and Merrick will have a chance to get back on the lead lap with a wave around. Trostel blows it again, and Monica Merrick does not. So Trostel now a lap down. And on to turn 5. And we could have had an early pit there. Pettis elected not to call it. So up to the top group, and we will have a skill check and finally some normal driving here. So skill, Clark Snook is going to give it a crack here at the lead driver. So Pettis, he has skill and a brake pedal plus the bonus. So a 5 or 6 on the blue die is going to be required. And Snook cannot get it done. Kendrick. And Kendrick, he does. So we have our first lead change of the afternoon. And we'll have a new leader for lap 6. Jeff Daly Jr. and Kendrick. He's got the skill and 2 brake pedals, so it's going to take a 6 on the blue die to pass him. Not happening there. Baker fails his gas pedal check, and Croyle and Leonard do not have that trait. So Randy Kendrick is our new leader on lap 6. And again, lots of action early in this one. And we go to the second group now, and 11 is a trouble roll again. And as a reminder, -1 on the escape. So here we go, second group, and again, if 6 cars or more are collected in this group, we will have another big one. So Disco Stu needs a 9, gets it. Exum, a 6, gets it. An 8 for Bryson, and Bryson, who had some unkind words for the Alabama badass Billy Brett, gets collected. Julie Justice, she's okay. Lucas Vanover needs a 6, and he's collected. Sonny Swain needs an 8. She is collected. So we have issues aplenty here. Kerry Cacchiola is good. Rossi, an 8, is good. Petrosky is 6, good. Pettis, KP, is collected. 4th car, so 2 more, and we'll keep going. Pine needs a 9. Ay, ay, ay. We might only have one group finish this race, so Plonka, please roll an 8. And Plonka barely gets it done. So, everyone there is going to move up, and now we roll repairs. And Trostel, going on a lap down, you cannot try and get a wave around on the turn you go down on. That's also a house rule. I don't know if that's the interpretation, but that's what I'm implementing. So Bryson, he needs a 11. And he's good in the lap down. Vanover needs a 8. And Vanover, he is collected. So he goes out turn number 6. Crash. And this is making the Minnesota wrecking yard look like a one of those bumper car rides at the fair. Sunny Swain, she's going to need a 9 or better. She's okay. Pettis needs a 10 or better. He's good. And finally, Gary Pine also needs a 10 or better. And he also is good. So before we move up, we will give Trevor Trostel a chance to get back on the lead lap. And again, he needs an 11. He's rolled 12 twice on pit checks. And finally, back on the lead lap. So we will have we will pit under yellow next turn and move everybody up. And I'm going the wrong way. So Lonnie Lane up to 15th, Vic Holder to 16th, Ray Bob to 17th, and AB up to 18th, and finally Parnell Drake up to 19th. So everybody else moving up. And 7 laps into this, and we have already lost 6 drivers. So this is shaping up to be a potentially rough race. And we will now pit. And 4 on the pit stop, that's going to be the middle group, and 5 and 2 cars will change positions. So Jordy Pettis moves up to 2nd. I'm sorry, 2 and 5. So Baker moves up to 3rd and Daly back to 6th. And in the second group, Holder and Raybob move up to 10th and 11th respectively. And Justice and K-Fab 16th and 17th respectively. So now let's roll for our performance chips. And Disco Stu needs a 7, does not get it. Exum a 5, nope. Vic Holder an 8, yes. So our first performance chip of the day. Ray Bob Walker, he needed a 9 and gets it. Tom Rossi a 5, gets it. Petrosky a 6, does not get it. Plonka a 7, no. Lane a 6, no. Justice a 10, no. Wow. Kakiolan an 8, and K-Fab gets his. Bigler a 9, gets it. And finally, Parnell Drake is going to need a 5, and he does not get it. So let's move everybody up here. And Disco Stu gets bounced back to 18th. All right, now let's challenge for our leader. And it is going to be the 6th place car, Jeff Daly Jr., and he needs a 5 or better on the gas pedal, and we have a new leader coming out of the pits. So Jeff Daly Jr. up into 1st place. and a two laps leading for Kendrick. So starting with lap number 8, our leader will be Jeff Daly Jr., and we are back at it. Back under green flag racing, and top group 5, and that is going to be a smart check. So smart, Disco Stew, and to pass the leader, just going to take 3 or better on the blue die if you pass your gas pedal check. So the Snooker, he moves up into the lead as the Sandman takes the lead over for the first time. Denny Baker, and to get past Snook, it's going to take a 6 on the blue die. No go. Kendrick, nope. Leonard, nope. And Cam Croyle, no. So our new leader for lap number 9 is going to be Clark, the Sandman Snook, or lap 10, sorry. And again, plenty of action early in this one, so this will be a top group check, and we're going to have a problem result, and after that a rare. So we will go to the problem finder for the top group, and 12, and that's going to be driver, well, that's going to be Cam Croyle. So Croyle, the problem 13, multiple problems, unable to continue. So unlucky 13, and Croyle. Another one bites the dust, he'll finish 37th. Multiple problems, and he goes down on lap 10. And also our second TV driver to get knocked out of the race in last week's winner. So with that, everyone will move up, and we will then finish our rare check. All right, and Holder needs a 4 to move up. He does not get it. He'll go ahead and expend his performance chip to jump up into the lead. Everybody else moves up 1. And from the back, KJ Nakashima doesn't get it. Hashhagen a 4, and Hashhagen will move up into the middle group. So lots of movement early in this one. Well, lots of problems and issues early in this one. Our driver attrition is now up to 7, and we still have 4 drivers who were caught a lap down. So rare problem chart. And for the top group, 62. 62 will be a pit crew incident. So pit crew incident, use the driver finder to determine which driver's crew sparks the incident. The incident will involve the pit crew of either the driver in the next place ahead or behind, your choice, or you may roll a die to determine those drivers are now placed in the feud list. So we have dueling pit crews, and we will use the decider die. So 12 on the top group, well, that'll be Dangerous Denny Baker. So if the dot comes up, it'll be Snook and Baker. If not, it will be Leonard and Baker. And Leonard and Baker are feuding now. So 5 and 82. And we have our second feud, And actually the first one is resolved since Moen is out of the race. And we'll go on to lap number 11. So the excitement never ends at Dixie Regional Raceway, folks. Second group, and 4 and an 8. That's going to be a skill check. So 3 for the middle group, and Disco Stu is going to be the first to get to make his move here. And coming up into the top group, he passes the gas pedal check, and it's going to be the second position, which is Jason Leonard, and Leonard has nothing to fight Uric off, so Disco Stu vaults up into the second group. Julie Justice will be next, and Justice passes the gas pedal check, and a 1, not going to get it done for Julie. Lonnie Lane also has his skill check. He misses the gas pedal check. And double skill for Joey Plonka. And Plonka passes the gas pedal check. He's going after the third position, Jordy Pettis. And Pettis, a 4 is going to get it done. So JP, the brothers Pettis now getting closer to each other as Jordy is bounced back. Next will be Petrosky. And Petrosky passes a gas pedal check going after the third car, Plonka, and Plonka with a double skill, and the bonus in the brake pedal is going to fend that off. So some artful driving for Joey there. And Austin Bigler with a performance chip. Fails a gas pedal check, and he would be going after Jeff Daly Jr. He's going to say, let me spend this. So he cashes in and bounces up into the top 7. And K-Fab, Kerry Cacchiola, looking to make his way into the top group, going after Vic Holder, and passes the gas pedal check, and Holder has no defense for K-Fab, who gets to keep his chip. Holder bounced back to 10th spot, and that does it. So we move on to turn number 12, and things starting to smooth out a little bit here. The Sandman, Clark Snook, still holding on to the lead. Second group again, that's going to be a reflex check. So reflex check, and that will start with Hashhagen. And Hashhagen going after Austin Bigler. And 2, not going to get it done as Bigler has that trait. Parnell Drake next. And Drake, he's going after Dangerous Denny Baker, and he passes him with ease. That's some veteran driving there. And Baker gets a little loose, falls all the way back to 18th place. And Julie Justice now going to take her crack at it. And a 5 passes the gas pedal check, and she's going after Kerry Cacchiola, and K-Feb says, actually, you might not have to use that. He has a reflex and a brake pedal and the 1 brake pedal bonus, so never mind. He fends her off with ease and maintains his spot in the top 7. Next will be Petrosky. And Petrosky going after Cacchiola's spot also. This time Kerry will have to use his performance chip to fight off the challenge. Up to Jeff Daly Jr. and let's see if they continue to pick on. They do. They continue to pick on K-Fab. Passes the gas pedal check, but with a 3, he's going to be able to fight that off as well. So he's fought off 3 challenges this round. Vic Holder, will it be 4? No. Holder misses the gas pedal check. And up to Tom Rossi now. And Rossi with a performance chip is going to move up, and he's going after Parnell Drake. And would not have been enough to get it done, but he'll spend that performance chip and vault up into second place on the Sandman's trail as Snook looks back to see a new face behind him. And finally, Ray Bob Walker. And he's going after Kendrick, passes the gas pedal check, but those 2 brake pedals are going to force him to use his performance chip. So we are now bereft of performance chips as turn number 12 comes to a close. Turn number 13, and on our next turn we will be into the second third of the race. And we're going to stay in that middle group 11, and we're going to have another trouble check. The fun never ends, never ever. Here we go. Kendrick, and he needs an 8 or better. Good. 7 or better for Drake. He's got it. Holder needs a 6. And Holder is collected. Jeff Daly Jr. 10. He's good. Petrosky is 6. He joins Holder up in the wall. Jordy Pettis a 9. Good. Lonnie Lane needs a 6. Gets it. Justice needs an 11. Good. Dick Exum a 6. And the veteran, cursing and shaking his fist, joins the mosh pit off to the side. Leonard gets his. Baker needs a 7. He's good. And finally, Hashhagen needs a 5. And Hashhagen, he's going to go dancing as well. All right, so now let's see. We'll go 2 turns under yellow after this, and we'll go for an early pit. So Holder, still in the first third, luckily for him. So pit crew needs a 10 or better. He's good. And back a lap down. 10 for Petrosky and a B. That is just going to save him. Dick Exum. Exum needs a 9, and Exum is done. Done and angry. So the veteran Dick Exum, he is claimed via crash, turned 13. And he will go back and undoubtedly turn the reins back over to his protege next week. That being Aaron Hartley. And finally, Hashhagen needs a 9 to escape, and he's good. All right, so that puts us, actually that does not put us within 3 turns, so we will have a yellow turn and not close enough to call a pit. We are now in the second third of the race, turn number 14. And these 4 drivers will have a chance to get back on the lead lap, starting with Kurt Bryson. So Bryson, he needs middle third. He will need a 9, and he gets it. So he's back amongst the living, and a 7 or better. Good for Sonny Swain. 8 or better. And good for KP. And finally Gary Pine. And Gary Pine also needs an 8. And he's back on the lead lap. So 3 cars a lap down. And we head to turn 15. And we are back under green flag conditions after we move everyone up here. All right, so Daly. 13, 14, 15. And moving up from the back group is Nakashima, Win. Blake Schlegel, who has just quietly been minding his own business. He has avoided all of the drama to date, and so has his buddy Mooch Mania. And the Mooch Maniacs are going wild as they see their favorite driver join the middle group now. So there we have it, and our attrition now stands at 8 racers. All right, top group, and 1 and 7 is going to be a reflex check. So Cacchiola going at Snook, who has reflex and the 2 brake pedals, so it's going to take a blue 6 to pass the Sandman. Cacchiola, and Cacchiola gets it done. So Bigler And for Cacchiola, it's going to take a 5 on the blue die, no. Ray Bob Walker, and Ray Bob gets a 5, but he fails his gas pedal check. And Joey Plonka. Plonka, our new leader. And Disco Stew. And for Plonka, it is also going to take a 5. And Disco Stew doesn't get it done. And Tom Rossi finally, and he fails a gas pedal check. So for lap number 16, we have a new leader, and Snook led for 5. And Joey Plonka, it has been a while since he's been up here. Had a fine performance that first race and has been generally marginal since then. But now up in the lead, and we go to the top group, and it's going to be a reflex check again. So the snooker, aka Sandman, aka Clark Snook, and to get past Plonka on this is going to take a blue 5 or better. And that's all you need to tell Snook. He says, I got this. And next, Austin Bigler, and again it's going to take a 6 to pass Snook since he has maximum brake pedal bonus action going. Ray Bob doesn't get it done. Kerry Cacchiola doesn't get it done. Disco Stew, nope. And finally Tom Rossi. And just as quickly as he was supplanted, the snooker is back up in first place. And he's going to take us to the pits. And pits, that's going to be the top group, and the 4 and the 6 cars swapping places. So Plonka and Walker up top. And in the second group, Baker and Leonard are going to swap with Schlegel and Mooch Thomas. And both these guys, inconspicuous, tiptoeing through the field, have found themselves in 14th and 15th places, trying not to arouse any suspicion or bring attention to themselves, and rightfully so. So that done, let's go for our performance chips, and Snook needs a 9 or better. He's got his. Rossi a 5, no sir. Disco Stew a 7, he's got one. Cacchiola an 8, just gets his. Plonka needs a 7, nope. Austin Bigler a 9, he gets his with ease. And finally Ray Bob also needs a 9, and he's going to get his. So let's see who challenges the Sandman coming out of the pits here, and that is going to be Tom Rossi. So Rossi needs a 3 and does not get it. So coming into turn 17, Snook is starting his second run as the race leader. And finally, we have something from the bottom group here, which is going to give our guys a chance to get back on the lead lap if they have the challenge. But there's also a problem back there. So let us resolve that first off. And 56, bottom group, 56 is going to be driver number 18. So we don't even have a driver 18, so no problem there. And 6 is going to be a heat result. So starting from the back with a chance to get back on the lead lap, nobody has the heat trait, so they will all stay put. And I'm going to take us all the way up to Chuck Tafaro here. Or I'm sorry, going the wrong way again. It takes us to Brooks Bilovich, so only Bilovich and Tufaro here have the heat quality in the final group. So 5, and going for the fourth position. Fourth position odd, and that is going to be Mooch Thomas. And Moocher not going to be able to fight that off at all. And Bilovich fails the gas pedal check, however. So we move on to Tafaro. And Tafaro going for the third position even, and he fails his gas pedal check as well. So no movement takes place as we head to turn 19. And top group, then back to reflex. So we're going to start this with Ray Bob Walker, and both Ray Bob and Snook have a performance chip. So Ray Bob fails to get it done. We'll see if they spend their performance chips, and they do. So that's going to leave Snook somewhat vulnerable as we go through this. Back to Austin Bigler. And Bigler doesn't get it done, but he spends his performance chip and jumps up into first place and takes us to Joey Plonka. And to get past Bigler, will only take a 4 or better on the blue die. And Joey Plonka passes his gas pedal check, and he's going to move up into first place. So Snook leads only 3 laps. We'll have a new leader on lap number 20. Still to be determined, and Kerry Kakiola would like to not have to spend his performance chip. He passes the gas pedal check, and here needed a 5 or better, so he's going to have to use his performance chip to take over first from Plonka. And up to Disco Stew, and also going to take a roll of 5 or better on the blue die there, and Disco Stew says no problemo, and he keeps his performance chip. And finally Tom Rossi needs a 3 on the gas pedal check and needs the maximum 6 to bypass Disco Stew, so Stew fights him off, gets to keep his performance chip, and we go to lap number 20. And Disco Stew Uric is our new leader. So here we go. And 4, that's going to be second group, and 8 will be a skill check. So starting with Denny Baker. And Baker going after Joey Plonka, and that's going to get it done. So Baker, he pulls a rabbit out of his hat there and vaults all the way up into 4th place and bounces Plonka back to 19th. And that was even with the double skill. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we're good. Never mind. All right, Chris Wynn, he's got it, and he is going after the 5th spot. And that's going to be Snooker, and 1 on the blue die is an automatic fail there. Nakashima, no. Mooch Thomas and Schlegel, sorry fellas. Julie Justice going to give it a run though, and she gets the 1 on the blue die, automatic fail. Lonnie Lane fails the gas pedal check. Let's see if JP can get back up there. JP fails a gas pedal check as well. Jeff Daly Jr. And Junior going after the 4th spot, and a 6 on the blue die is going to bounce Austin Bigler back into the middle group up to Parnell Drake, and he does not have it, so Randy Kendrick will be our last challenge, and Kendrick fails a gas pedal check. So we just passed the halfway point, and we are an hour into this video here, due mainly to the high volume of carnage, so I don't want to spread this out. We'll split this up into a 2-parter. So this will be the last turn of part number 1, and then we will finish the remaining 19 laps tomorrow early in the morning, and probably will breeze right through those because we've had about everything bad happen that can happen. Second group is going to be a heat check for the second group. And heat, Jason Leonard's got it. And Leonard passes a gas pedal check. He's going after the 3rd spot. And Denny Baker, he's got the brake pedal and the bonus, so he fights that off. Winner Nakashima, no, Mooch, Thomas, and Schlegel. Schlegel, all he has is heat. And let's see if the 83 car can make some miraculous run into the top group. He's going after Denny Baker, and you know what? Baker only has 2 gas pedals to fend him off. So look at this, Blake Schlegel, against all odds, continuing to just fly under the radar. And next thing you know, he pops up in 4th place. Julie Justice might have her eyes set on him, but she fails a gas pedal check. Jordy Pettis next. And Pettis going after the snooker, but he fails a gas pedal check. And Austin Bigler. 1 on the blue die would be an automatic fail. Parnell Drake and Randy Kendrick both have heat. Drake fails a gas pedal check, and Kendrick gets it done. He's going after the number 3 car, Schlegel, and Schlegel fights him off, a heat, trait, and the brake pedal bonus. So Blake, enjoying his newfound infamy in that top group, he's going to get greedy with it. And 106, one more turn, lap 22. So we'll have 18 laps to finish tomorrow. It's just getting good. Come on now. 3 and back to the middle group, and 10 is going to be a TV check, and the only TV driver we have is Randy Kendrick, so this will be a quick turn. And actually, you know what? I'm just going to ride this race out. This will be a longer video, probably an hour, 35 minutes, but so what? I'm just back from vacation. I have energy. I can talk through an hour and a half video. So Kendrick going after the top spot, going after Ray Bob Walker, and passes the gas pedal check, and Ray Bob is going to fight him off with those 2 brake pedals. Excuse me. So we go up to turn 23. And things have started to smooth out a little bit here. We are now 3 turns away from a pit, or will be after this, and back to the bottom group. And a heat check on the bottom. And coming all the way up. Looks like, again, Bilovich and Tufaro are the only 2 that have that back there. So going after the 5th spot odd. And that will be KJ Nakashima, but Bilovich fails the gas pedal check. So Tufaro, and Tufaro, he is going to get it done. The number 1 spot odd, and that is Kendrick. Kendrick has the heat quality, but that is it. He does have the 2 brake pedal bonuses, but a 5 will get it done for Tufaro. So the Chucky Monster makes his first appearance in the middle group. And smooth sailing for Disco Stu up in front as we head to turn 24. And look at this guy, Blake Schlegel, still in 4th place. And Mooch Mania going wild in 15th spot back there, and middle group. But we're going to have a problem. This will be a heat check after we resolve the problem. And Mooch's Legion of fans have their fingers crossed that this is not him. 45 in the middle group, and 45, driver 4 odd. So driver 4 odd is going to be Dangerous Denny Baker. And 62, what was it, 2? 62, clutch problem, roll for repair. So Baker, at worst, is going to go a lap down. And he has a pit crew of D, and we're in the middle third of the race. And for a problem, it's going to take a 3 or better, and did not look very promising for him. He is done. So Denny Baker, he finishes in 35th spot with a clutch. And he bites the dust on lap number 24. So au revoir, Denny. And that's going to move everybody up here. And coming up from the back group, Paul Chen. So Chen, a 3 or better, he's got it. Chen, another non-trophy driver who's just kind of been minding his own business, staying away from trouble, not making anybody angry. And we still have 3 drivers, Holder, Petrosky, and Hashhagen, who are a lap down as we head to turn 25. Within 2 turns of a pit stop now. And Disco Stew is 5th lap in the lead. And again, we go to the bottom group. And 9 is going to be a control check. So control, so Hashhagen, he's got a chance to get back on the lead lap. And again, the way that's going to work is he has to best the race leader here. So passes, excuse me, gas pedal check, and then a control result, which Disco Stew has that. So it's going to take a 6 on the blue die to get back on the blue or lead lap, and he can't get it done. And Petrosky no, and Vic Holder no. So we move on to Gary Pine, and now going for our normal challenge just into the second group. So 5 even. And 5 even will be Chris Wynn. I was misreading even and odd, no worries. Chris Wynn, and Pine passes the grab, the brake or gas pedal check and control. And a 1's going to be able to get that done. So Pine up into 16th spot. Kevin Pettis now. And Pettis, he goes after the 6th spot and even. So that's going to be Joey Plonka. And fails the gas pedal check. Kurt Bryson. And Bryson going after 3 odd. So that's going to be Julie Justice and a 4. Julie has double control plus 2 brake pedals. Sorry, Charlie. Trevor Trostel. Trostel fails the gas pedal check. Monica Merrick. She's got the gas pedal check and going after 1 even. Chuck Tafaro. And Tafaro has control and a brake pedal, so he fights off Monica's challenge. Pete McAtee. We haven't heard much from the Maxter today. And 1 even, that's going to be Chuck Tafaro, and Tafaro is going to fight that off. So his second successful defense. Big Sky Wayne Montana, and Montana, he's going after 2 odd. That's Jordy Pettis. And Montana's going to get it done. So Jordy Pettis, he continues his run of somewhat inconsistent running as he's back down in the bottom group, as Greco is going to give it a shot. And Greco going after 4, and that's our buddy Mooch Thomas. And Mooch does have the control quality, but unfortunately not much else. So he's going to be back with his drinking buddies in the bottom group. Brooks Bilovich. And Bilovich fails the gas pedal check. And Marlon McGarry going to get our final challenge from the bottom group. He fails the gas pedal check as well. And turn 26, and we'll have a pit stop next turn. And 4, that's the middle group, and it'll be a skill check. So we will start it with Paul Chen. And Chen, that is the only thing he has going for him. So trying to move up and fails a gas pedal check. Joey Plonka, he's got a double skill, so he can make a run at the lead here if he is successful. Passes the gas pedal check, and he's going after the 5th spot. And that is the snooker. Clark the Sandman Snook, and not going to get it done there as he has skill, a bonus, and the 2 brake pedals. So Joey picked the wrong fish to try and snag there. Nothing in that position. And down to Greco. Actually, I'm sorry, Plonka has the double star, so he can go again. And Plonka now going after Ray Bob Walker, passes the gas pedal check. And Ray Bob just barely gets it done. So Snook says no, and Plonka wisely picks on somebody else. And now we go to Craig Greco. Greco fails the gas pedal check. Julie Justice, and Justice has been in an unfamiliar position back here. She's going after Plonka, and 2 is not going to get it done with his brake pedal bonus. Lonnie Lane will be next. And Lane has his sights set on Blake Schlegel, and Blake, unfortunately, was not going to be that inconspicuous, but Lane fails a gas pedal check, so Schlegel hanging on by the skin of his teeth right now. Montana, and Montana's going after Jeff Daly Jr., passes the gas pedal check, and a skill and the bonus, and Daly's going to fight that one off. Austin Bigler next. Bigler, he's going to take his run at Daly, and he's going to get it done. So Daly Jr. back into the 10th spot, and finally Chuck Tafaro has the last challenge of this turn. And Tafaro going after the number 2 car, K-Fab Kerry Cacchiola, and Cacchiola is going to easily swat him back. And we are heading to the pits. And turn 27, and Disco Stu still leading comfortably. So pits, and we're going to have a problem going into the pits. Actually a pit violation, so it's going to be the middle group. And pit violation. So 2 on that. And I actually rolled the driver finder. So middle group a 51. And 51 will be driver 5 odd, and that is going to be Justin Leonard. So Leonard has a pit violation. And that is going to be a smoking vehicle. So Leonard, and being in the pits, he will be able to get that taken care of, as we still have 3 drivers a lap down, so he'll be in 32nd place. And we will move everybody up and then see who, or go for our performance chips now. So McGarry needs a 5 to come up. He does. All right, and let's go for our performance chips, which we have not had a lot of those this race. Chuck Tafaro, he's going to need a 6 or better, doesn't get it. Drake, a 5 or better, he does. Jeff Daly Jr., a 9, good for him. Wayne Montana, a 9, got his. Lonnie Lane, a 6, nope. Julie Justice, a 10, she's got one. Greco, a 9, no. Nakashima, a 4, not even close. Pine, a 5. And Snake Eyes for Gary. Paul Chen needs a 3, close, no cigar. Ray Bob, a 9, he's got his. And finally, Gary needs a 7, and he fails as well. And we will see who challenges Disco Stu coming out of the pits here. And that is going to be the number 4 car, Austin Bigler. And a 5 or better gets it. And Stu is going to be forced to expend his performance chip to fight that challenge off coming out of the pits. So we head to turn 28 now, and 2 more turns, and if Stu can hang on, he will get another performance chip, as that will be 10 laps in the lead. And back to the bottom group, Smart Check. And Smart would be Not Racing. Vic Holder, he's going to get a chance to get back on the lead lap here. Unfortunately, he needs a 6 on the blue die and a 4 less on the red. No, sir. And in fact, he rolls a problem. Jeez, oh. I don't know how much worse it can get. You can go to the back of the lap down group. 32, loose in turns, end of bottom group. So at least he lives to fight another day, and that's really not that big of a fall for him. And 5. So Leonard now have a chance to move up, and Leonard passes the gas pedal check, and he is going after the 3rd position even, which will be Lonnie Lane. And he's going to get that done, and Lane does not have a performance chip. So he's bounced back, and Chris Wynn is next. Wynn fails a gas pedal check. Kurt Bryson fails a gas pedal check. Pete McAtee, the cagey veteran, he's going after 4 even, which is going to be Greco. And Greco, he's got Smart and a gas pedal, but a blue 3 will get that done. So the veteran Pete McAtee gets up into the middle group. And Randy Kendrick's going to have our last opportunity. And he passes a gas pedal check. He's going after 4 odd, which will be KJ Nakashima. And Nakashima has a Smart quality as well, but he does not have any brake pedal bonuses. So KJ is going to get bounced to the bottom group. Heading to turn 29 now. And Disco Stu, 1 lap away from a performance chip, and this will be top group though, so he's going to be tested. This will be a skill check. And skill check is the number 3, Joey Plonka. So Disco Stu, he's got 5, so it's going to take a blue 6 or better to get past him. Plonka, no. Clark Snook, can't get it done. Austin Bigler, can't get it done. Blake Schlegel, can't even try. K-Fab, no sir. And Rossi, no. So lap number 30, and this will be 10 laps in the lead. And this will be a second group, so Disco Stu is going to get his performance chip. And 7 will be a reflex check coming from the back here. And Ray Bob's going to take first crack. He has a performance chip, and he has his sights set on the number 4 position, Austin Bigler. Can't get it done, but he's got that cash in the bank. And he makes a deposit and vaults up into the top 7. Gary Pine also with a reflex check, and he hasn't really made, he was in a notable feud with Ralph Roach in race number 1, but has been fairly inconspicuous since then. And he's going after Snook, and Snook, forget about that, so he's going to have to cash his chips in, but it gets him up. And next up, Julie Justice, and Justice, she has been out of the top group for quite some time. Fails a gas pedal check, but the chip is going to get it done. And Blake Schlegel, it was a nice run, my friend, and that is probably the last we will see of you in the top 7. Maybe forever. No, and Wayne Montana with a chip. So fortunately for those making a run at the top group, they all have the performance chips, which has boded well for them. And Montana going after the 4th spot, which is Ray Bob Walker, and Ray Bob, a 3, and reflex would fight him off, but Montana going to use his performance chips. So a lot of movement this turn, and a lot of performance chips falling to the wayside. Jeff Daly Jr. Fails the gas pedal check, and he's going to use his performance chip. Easy come, easy go for the Queen of SCRAM as she goes back to the middle group. And Parnell Drake will be our last challenge, and if he fails, every performance chip in that back group will have been obliterated. He's going after Gary Pine, and Pine has a bonus and reflex, and that's it. So a 3 will get it done, and Drake gets to keep his chip, which could come in very handy. So on to lap number 31 we go. And we are now within sight of the finish line. 10 turns to go. Top group 4, and that is going to be a star check. So our star check, and that will start with Parnell Drake, who has a chip. So this could be very detrimental to Disco Stu if he passes. And Parnell passes the gas pedal check. And Stu, he does not have the star trait, so a roll of 5 is going to get it done. So he's going to succeed regardless. So let's see if they use their performance chips or not, and they don't. Probably very wise there by Disco Stu, showing the veteran that he is. And next up, Big Sky Wayne Montana. And to get in over Drake, we'll take a 4 or better on the blue die if you pass your gas pedal check, which Montana does not. Jeff Daly Jr., he passes his, and he's going to be able to vault into the lead, but Drake spends his performance chip. So Disco Stu in a great position here, and K-Fab, Kerry Cacchiola. And again, just going to take a 4 on the blue die or better. And he cannot get it done. And Tom Rossi, and Rossi, wouldn't he be a surprise leader? Does not pass the gas pedal check, however. So Parnell Drake, we have a new leader. And Disco Stu, he led for 11 laps. And as we come out to lap number 32, your new leader, the 92 car. So 9 laps to go, and here we go. We still have 3 drivers a lap down, hoping for a yellow flag. This will be a reflex check, however, and the top group is chock full of those with the reflex trait, starting with Joey Plonka, and Parnell Drake has as well. No gas pedal though, so it's going to take only a 4 or better on the blue die. And 4 or better it is, and Joey Plonka. So Drake's time in the lead was extremely short-lived, and we will have a new leader on lap 33, still to be determined. And Disco Stu, he's going to get up there regardless. He wants to do it without having to use his chip, and he's not going to be able to. So we are chipless, and that usually calls for some exciting racing down the stretch. The good part for Disco Stu is it's going to take a 6 on the blue die to get it done, so Montana can't. Jeff Daly Jr. can't pass the gas pedal check or the blue brake pedal check. Cacchiola, and Cacchiola, he's got the moxie. He gets it done. So K-Fab making some money moves at the end of this race, and to get past him with the reflex is going to take a 5 or better from Tom Rossi on the blue die. He can't pass the gas pedal check. So our new leader on lap 33 is a number 2 car, K-Fab, Kerry Cacchiola, and Cacchiola in a very unfamiliar position as he struggled mightily early in the season. 6, we finally have a duel, only our second one of the race. That's going to be the number 3 car in the top group. So up there, Jeff Daly Jr., he's going to go after Rossi for that second spot right on Cacchiola's tail, and gets it done. Gets a performance chip, which will be big. And Rossi now. In the final third of the race, so Racin needs an 8 to escape, and he is fine there. So a little paint swap, no damage otherwise, and we head to turn number 34, 6 to go. And back up to the top group and back to reflex. That has been the popular motif. Everyone has Duran Duran blasting over the pit radios. And again, to pass Cacchiola up there with that trait is going to take a 5 or better on the blue die. Drake doesn't get it done. Plonka. And Plonka does, so Joey back up there, and we're going to have a new leader. So Cacchiola can only hang on for 2 laps. And Big Sky, Wayne Montana, and for Plonka, Plonka has reflex and brake pedal in the bonuses, also a 5 on the blue die, so Montana can't get it done. Rossi would have got it done, but he fails the gas pedal check. Disco Stu can't get it done, and Jeff Daly Jr. So Jeff Daly Jr. trying to hang on to that performance chip, and a 4, not going to get that done, so he's going to have to spend that. But we have a new leader as we head out to turn 35, and that will be the 63 car, Jeff Daly Jr. And we have 5 laps to go. And 6, and we're going to have another duel. So duels are now picking up at the end, and that is the Fume Feud. So again, Moen and Bigler. Moen is out of the race. So we have the 5 and 82 cars still locked in a feud here. And they are both in the race still, I believe. Uh, 82, Jason Leonard, and 5. Where is 5 at? Actually, okay, 5, Denny Baker. He went out on lap 24 with a clutch issue, so we'll go over to Fuming, which would be the Alabama Badass, and he is out of the race too. So attrition takes care of that as we head to turn 36 and 1 turn away from our final pit stop of the day. And again, another duel. So 9 and number 5 cars in the middle group. And in the middle group, Paul Chen. So you want to go after Tafaro with a 3. He's not going to risk it. Snook is definitely going to risk it. He's going after Tafaro, and he gets it done. And a performance chip. So Tafaro now have to make an escape roll, and 9 or better. He's good. So they will remain friends as we head into our final pit stop here, turn 37. And that is going to be a middle group, and the 5 and 3 cars switch places. So Cacchiola and Rossi up front. And in the back, Schlegel and Leonard will be replaced by Tufaro and Chen. And the array of non-trophy drivers we still have hanging on in the Schlegel, Chen. Back there on the bottom is Mooch Mania, Mooch Thomas. So now middle group, we will roll for our performance shift, starting with Clark Snook. He needs a 9 or better, and this would be very big for him. He's got it. So 2 performance shifts. Pine, no. Julie Justice, she needs 1, gets it. Ray Bob Walker, a 9, fails. Tafaro, a 3, no. Chen, a 3. Ay-yi-yi. McAtee, a 7, he's got 1. Kendrick, a 6, good. Leonard a 6. He's good. Schlegel a 3. He could have used that last roll. Bigler a 9. And he fails. Choker. And McGarry doesn't get one either. So, Justice up into 9th place. And then McAtee. They bounce Mr. Pine. Ray Bob will go back to 16th. And then Leonard will replace Chuck DeFaro in 12th. And let's challenge our leader now. So coming out of the final pit, and our leader does not have a performance chip. And it is going to be the number 1 car, Joey Plonka. And Plonka, he's got it. So we have a new leader coming out for our final 3 turns. And Plonka, a big resurgence here, the best he has done since the first race of the season. So 3 laps to go, a lot of performance chips back here. Let's see if he can hang on. Turn number 38, and ooh. Okay, so that is going to go to the fume feud as well as a duel. And we do not have anyone in the fume feuding list still in the race. So 12 will be the number 2 cars in the middle group. And that is Kendrick and McAtee, and performance chips in front of them. Neither one really wants to take that chance. So we go to turn 39, and there are 2 turns to go, and it's going to come down to the wire here, looking for that top group result, and we have it, a 2-6, and that's going to be heat. And Parnell Drake, he's going to get it started up top here, and Joey Plonka. Plonka does not have the heat, so a 4 or better on the blue die, and Parnell Drake, he's going to get it done and take the lead on the 39th turn of the race, and some jockeying up front. Parnell Drake moves in over Joey Plonka. And Rossi does not have it. Montana does not. Cacchiola, no. And nobody else has heat up top. So Parnell Drake with a good move, and we're heading into the final lap. Can he hang on? Here we go. 6. And 6 on the final lap is a duel. And again, the optional dual rule on the final lap there. And actually not the final lap, my bad. So dual and 3. And that is going to be the number 3 car in the top group. He could have gone after the leader on the final lap, but he cannot here. Cacchiola, well, he needs a performance chip and hope that something comes top group on that final turn. So he's going to go for it, go after Jeff Daly Jr., and he fails. So Cacchiola, wow. This could get very interesting. He's going to have to make an escape roll. And again, -1 on track, 7 or better. He gets it done, however. So we are heading to our final lap of the race. And coming down the stretch, Parnell Drake in the lead with some good maneuvering to get up there on turn 39. And again, we have another duel result. And fume feud, roll again. We do not have anybody in the fume feud, so a very anticlimactic finish, as it's going to end just like you see it. Parnell Drake coasts across the finish line and is the winner of the Doc Cola 400, race number 8 of the season. And Drake used some very aggressive driving with the heat quality coming out of the pits to capture the lead on turn number 38 and or 39, and coast home to victor. That were the only 2 laps he led. Actually, I'd take that back. He did lead lap 32 as well, so he was up around the top most of the day. So let's go over the results here. A lot of chips sitting unused there in that second group as duels. And in that duel, even if it had come up first group, again, you can challenge the leader on the final turn, but came up a feud fume result, so that, again, a very anticlimactic finish. So our final pecking order here, Parnell Drake in first place, Jeff Daly Jr. is in second place. He was one of our TV drivers this week. Disco Stu Urich will take third. K-Fab, Kerry Cacchioli, he had some nice runs, had a couple of laps up in the lead position. He finishes fourth. Wayne Big Sky Montana in fifth. Tom Rossi in sixth. And Joey Plonka, again, making a bit of a resurgence. He also led a couple of laps, and his top 10 finished, first since race number 1 of the season. And just outside of that, you have our two of our leaders, Julie Justice and Clark Snook. And notable finishes in this one. Some non-trophy drivers did quite well. Paul Chen is the highest placing non-trophy driver, back in 13th position. Blake Schlegel in 17th. And the fans love him, and you know him and love him. Moochomania, Mooch Thomas, finished in 22nd place. He spent a good portion of the race up in the middle group, however, and managed to stay under the radar and out of trouble. And again, finishing the lap down is Bobby Petrosky, Sean Hashhagen, and Vic Holder. And our overall leader, Mr. Consistency up to this point, Trevor Trostel, he had a couple of scrapes and finished back in 26th place, so he will probably be losing the points lead, and we'll go ahead and update our standings and talk about that before our next race. And again, going into race 9, the Alabama Badass, Billy Brett, who was knocked out of this in that huge pileup on the very first turn of the race. He's still pissed off, so he's going to carry that on. And then the 20 and 77 cars, Moen and Bigler, they bashed fenders in this one, and it ended up with Moen getting knocked out again. So their feud will continue as well. The 5 and 82 feud, Baker and Leonard, that was kind of quashed and will go away, so we won't see that in the next race. So that's pretty much it. That wraps it up from Dixie Regional Raceway here in the Deep South, the Dot Cola 400. Once again, your winner is Parnell Drake. So before we sign off, just what's coming up on the channel. And again, as always, thank you very much for watching this. Please hit the like button and subscribe, recommend to your friends. Comments, suggestions always are welcome. And also, even thoughts on the house rule for the lap down procedure. I thought it added a little bit of a different element to the race, and definitely imposes a little bit of a harsher penalty for having to make that repair rule, which really is how it should be in racing. But coming up, next up will be start number 11, Fergie Jenkins payoff pitch replay, and then also at some point this week we will have a continuing during the development cycle of Glory Days Boxing, we will have vlog updates, and we will have the next one this week. And in that vlog update, we will introduce a referee to the equation. So your first look at referees and how they factor into the gameplay. And the referee this week will referee a fight. He's got his hands full. He is a strict referee. All of you who watched boxing during the 70s and 80s and early 90s know him. But he will have his hands full as there are two definite rough and tumble scrappers going at it. Jack Dempsey, the Manassas Mauler, will face off in a 10-round bout against two-ton Tony Galento. So Galento definitely will be a prohibitive underdog in this one against Dempsey, but Galento has that huge right hook. It put Joe Louis down and had finished more than his share of opponents with it. And as a reminder, Dempsey is a great offensive fighter. Comes in crouching, gets inside, works to the body, lots of hooks and uppercuts, very relentless, but he tends to leave himself wide open. He took a tumble through the ropes and almost lost his title to the Wild Bull of the Pampas, Luis Angel Firpo. So he could be caught, and Galento, all it takes is one shot. So there is some intrigue in that bout. And refereeing that will be none other than Mills Lane, Mr. Let's Get It On, and again, a very strict by-the-book referee. And you will see how different traits of the referee come in and affect a fight, as he'll be looking to keep these two wrapped up and not straying too much into dirty waters, if you will. So that will be the next vlog on the development of Glory Days Boxing. So that should be a fun fight, and also looking forward to showing the referee interaction in the game. And also coming up in future vlogs, we will introduce a few of the fictional fighters, and again, they will not be in the initial release. They'll be an ongoing development, but will be the first accessory released after the game comes out later towards the end of this year. And what we'll talk about with the fictional fighters is how traits which the real life boxers do not have come into play and affect potential fights or the fighters themselves during the lead up to a bout. Pretty similar to how this game handles race week, but it can affect a number of things: stamina, certain attributes, offensive or defensive abilities, how a referee or judge could see the fight based on something the fighter says or does, or even how his opponent may react. So that's a future vlog down the road. Again, the next one will be introducing referees and their interaction, or how they play into the mechanics of the fight. So I'll give you a heads up on that after the Fergie Jenkins replay. So again, good to be back. I had an awesome vacation, very refreshing and relaxed. Actually, to be honest, it's not good to be back. I could have used another week there, but real life calls and only so much money to spend in Hawaii. So until next time, keep rolling for the finish line. And again, thanks for watching. Have a good night, everyone. We will see you.